You spent 12 years in school learning to solve for X, but not a single day learning how the money in your pocket actually works. While you trade your time for a paycheck, the system is designed to keep you predictable and broke. Today, I'm revealing the 3 invisible rules the people at the top don't want you to know, including the one reason school purposely kept you in the dark. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the math and the psychology of wealth better than 90% of the population. You can keep playing a rigged game, or you can learn the rules and start winning. People ask me all the time, "Chris, why didn't they just teach us about taxes or mortgages in high school?" The answer is actually kind of dark. Our modern school system was designed in the early 1900s to produce factory workers. The goal wasn't to create financial masters or entrepreneurs, it was to create obedient employees who showed up on time, followed instructions, and didn't ask too many questions. If you understand how money works, you become unpredictable. You might quit, you might start a business, you might stop borrowing money, and the system needs you to borrow money. Look, here's the thing. Most of us were told, work hard, save your money in a bank account, and you'll be fine. That is a lie. In fact, that advice is making you poorer every single day. Let's look at the numbers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the cost of living has skyrocketed, but your savings account is likely paying you maybe 0.01% interest. Meanwhile, inflation, the invisible tax, is hovering way higher. If you have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account and inflation is at 4%, you didn't keep $10,000. By next year, your money can only buy $9,600 worth of stuff. You lost $400 without spending a dime. This is where it gets really interesting. The bank takes your $10,000, lends it to your neighbor at 7% for a car loan or 24% for a credit card, and pockets the difference. They're getting rich off your safety. Now, you might be thinking, but Chris, I need a good credit score to survive. Why? So you can get into more debt? The system wants you focused on your credit score because it's a measurement of how good of a customer you are to the banks. It's not a measurement of your wealth. I know people with 800 credit scores who are totally broke, and millionaires who don't even have a score. Here is a realistic example that I see every day. Meet Average Joe. Joe makes $60,000 a year. He feels like he's doing okay. But Joe has a $500 a month car payment, $300 a month in student loans, and $200 a month in credit card interest. That's $1,000 a month, or $12,000 a year, going to pay for things he already bought or used. That is 20% of his life, his time, handed over to a bank. If Joe took that same $1,000 and invested it in a simple index fund starting at age 25, by age 65, he'd have over $3.5 million. The system doesn't want Joe to have $3.5 million. It wants Joe to have a new SUV and a gold credit card. Because a man with $3.5 million is free. A man with a $500 car payment has to show up to a job he hates on Monday morning. This is the part they definitely didn't teach you in school. Money is 20% head knowledge and 80% behavior. We are biologically wired to want what our neighbors have. It's called social signaling. In the wild, if you weren't part of the tribe, you died. Today, we try to stay in the tribe by wearing the same clothes and driving the same cars as people who are also broke. Think about it. Why do you feel a hit of dopamine when you buy something new? It's a temporary mask for financial stress. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, and the watches not worn. Wealth is the option to wake up and do whatever you want. If you want what 1% of the people have, you have to do what 99% of people aren't willing to do. Here are your 3 actionable steps. Stop saving, start investing. Keep an emergency fund, sure, but get your extra cash into assets that grow, like low-cost index funds or real estate. Don't let the invisible tax eat your future. Kill the chains. Treat debt like a house on fire. Get rid of it as fast as humanly possible. That $1,000 Joe was losing, that's your ticket to freedom. Change your circle. If your friends are complaining about being broke while ordering $15 cocktails and financing new iPhones, you're in the wrong room. Here's the final secret the system hides. Money is just a tool for freedom. It's not the goal. The goal is time. When you understand that every dollar you spend is actually a piece of your life you traded away, you stop spending carelessly. You start building. School taught you how to be a gear in a machine. I'm telling you that you can own the machine. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. Now, speaking of things that the system has totally backwards, you might think you're being generous when you're out at dinner, but the truth is, tipping culture is broken and it's not your fault. Check out this video to learn more.